Ted Zakalakis has a tough decision to become a big Hollywood agent making
$50,000 a year.
What?
Of course.
Or
I'm supposed to start working my uncle's bakery on Monday.
A tough decision? Oh, it's a killer. Whatever will we do?
John Cryer is the famous Teddy Z. Premieres Monday, September 18th on CBS.
This is not movies, that this is real.
Life impacting life.
Very gripping.
William Shatner hosts a new series that could make a difference in your life.
911 is there to save our lives.
Real heroes in true life situations. Rescue 911 premieres Tuesday.
This is CBS.
Topping tonight's news, pandemonium on the Virginia Beach Resort Strip.
Mass confusion, rioting, clashes with police, and looting has returned to the ocean front. I'm Kurt Williams. I'll have the story in a live report.
That rioting has brought in the National Guard to help control the crowds.
I'm Paula Miller in Virginia Beach, where police are out in force tonight, adding additional forces from out of town. We'll have a live report coming up.
Good evening, I'm Jan Callihan. Join us for the complete report, up next on News 3 tonight.
The Hub Furniture Centers wanted to do something really spectacular for their Labor Day sale. So how about this? You can buy all the furniture you need with no finance charges for 1 full year, or take an extra 10% discount for cash. And that applies to anything you buy. Choose from the latest looks, the famous brands, whatever you like. You won't find lower prices anywhere. And now, no finance charges for 1 full year, or 10% off for cash in the Labor Day sale, now through Monday 10 to 9 at the Hub.
Problem, Labor Day, what to do? Solution A, the beach, exterior exposed to sun, pain, H2O could block rays, wet. Solution B, Circuit City's Labor Day weekend sale. Save on this VHS video recorder with cable-ready tuner, now just $159.97. This Frigidaire 14 cubic foot no frost refrigerator is only $379.97. Conclusion, Circuit City's savings beat the beach.
Nissan dealers across the country are ready to run a marathon. The Nissan Marathon, ready to pass along up to $1,500 in dealer cash incentives on Sentra. And up to $2,000 on every Nissan hard-body truck. They're going all out on Maxima, the most trouble-free car sold in the U.S. And the hot 240 SX. But hurry, because as fast as we're running, the great deals could pass you by. The Nissan Marathon, the best event we've ever run.
Discover the land of the free.
Wait a minute, how would they bring the army out? Let's bring the SWAT team out and they didn't kill nobody.
A state of anarchy, panic, and fear engulfs the Virginia Beach oceanfront tonight as Greekfest 1989 continues to confirm the worst fears of both city officials and the black community. Good evening. At this hour, the Virginia Beach oceanfront is swarming with members of the National Guard as well as state and local police trying to battle the unrest and clear the streets of an unruly crowd. News 3 crews have been on the scene at the oceanfront all evening long. And we go now to Kurt Williams for an update on the Greekfest situation. Kurt?
Jan, it has been crazy out here. The situation still remains very tense. Virginia Beach Police just moments ago finished another sweep up Atlantic Avenue. About 75 troops marching up the street. Students again have been running off. It has been raining bottles out here. Students that have retreated to their hotels have been throwing off bottles. You can still see a heavy presence out here right now. The National Guard is still also out. A state police chopper also has a spotlight and is sweeping over the area. Crazy out here, and it all began earlier this evening. It's still unclear what happened, but Betty Francis was out when it first erupted. And Betty, if you can just tell us what you experienced, because you were caught right in the middle of it.
It was absolutely crazy. It actually seems very calm right now compared to what it was about 8 o'clock this afternoon. We came out of the Holiday Inn hotel about 8 o'clock after having a bite to eat, and when we came out the front door, the police had formed in the street. They were in riot formation like this in the street, and they were about to begin a sweep down the street. Now, what one police officer told me, that something happened on 25th Street, that is. We don't know exactly what it was that set the crowd off, but things started happening very quickly, and then police moved in very quickly, and what they systematically did was cleared the streets of Virginia Beach of all people. Now, it doesn't look very systematic, and believe me, it was not. I was right out in the middle of the police trying to clear the students and the visitors and the tourists off the street here. People were going crazy. It was a mob scene. They were running. They were literally stampeding in the streets as the police moved down. And there was a hail of rocks, and there was a hail of bottles and glass shattering all around us as the police moved down the street, and the students ran from them and moved over into the shadows and threw bottles and rocks. Police went door to door, forcing people back into their homes. Now, police told me that they've been made to be the bad guy in this whole situation, and one police officer told me, we're just following orders. We were told to clear the streets this evening of Virginia Beach and try to bring the situation under control. We were told that what we had to do was get the students off the street, try to systematically push them out of the middle of the street onto the sidewalks, and that's what police were trying to do. But it was a frightening situation out there. There were an awful lot of innocent people who were just all of a sudden caught up in the situation and panicked and just didn't know what to do. It was like cattle being herded down the streets. There were people, families with children, who were running from one block, and then they would be blocked off, and they'd have to turn and run in the other direction, and people were crying and they were frantic, and it was just a shower of breaking glass all around. The streets are just littered here tonight, and Kurt, it was very frightening being out there. It was frightening not only for me, but for the crowds of people that were here tonight.
It was indeed very frightening and scary, because as we were walking along, there were bottles that were raining down on us, and it would flare up in different situations. As the police would move the students further down, it would just flare up again. And Brian Eagleman also was able to get some videotape as the police sweep continued to move further down, and the students, again, they would retreat into their hotels, but then once the police began to move further back, the students would again creep back out of their hotels. The students say that this is nothing that they wanted, that again, they came down here and they just wanted some fun. They just wanted to have a good time, and they felt that the police have been coming down on them, pressuring them, keeping them from doing anything. And I believe we have some tape that was shot earlier as the police continued sweeping down Atlantic Avenue. And we might just let some of this tape roll, and you can see how it was, the students were just taunting the police, and it was just a confrontation that just went on for some time.
Everybody move! Everybody, let's move!
Jan, it is unclear at this time why some of these students were arrested. It appears that if they didn't run and seek shelter in time, they would be arrested. The sweeps are still going on, and there was never any curfew or official curfew imposed. There was talk of a curfew, but then it never went any further beyond the talk. These sweeps just sprang up after, from what we understand, some students had been gathering at Pacific and 25th, and they were doing some dancing. This is one story that we hear, and then all of a sudden the police moved in, and that's when the confrontation started. Paula Miller has been talking with the police and has latest information on the additional troops brought in and how the police have been responding to what happened tonight.
Kurt, I spoke with the National Guard, Virginia National Guard, a short while ago. They have 4 or 5 companies. They're not even sure. as of right now, they're still assessing their manpower right now. They're calling in additional companies. Also, Norfolk police are coming in tonight to assist Virginia Beach Police, the National Guard that's already here, and the state troopers. As you mentioned, this is unlawful assembly. We're seeing right now before our eyes the Virginia Beach Riot squad running across the street. Because of this unlawful assembly, anyone technically who is on the street can be arrested. And as you can see there, the police are right behind us, and they're moving periodically and swiftly right across the street to pick up those who are being arrested. And I think our photographers has caught some of that as they're going across the street. But that's the unlawful assembly. The city can declare that status, and anyone on the street can be arrested. Some of the confusion, however, has been that we've seen other people walking up and down the street. Some of the students, possibly just curious to see what's been happening, and seeing the streets littered with debris and with glass, checking the situation out, and yet they haven't been arrested. But as we mentioned earlier, the looting continued tonight. In fact, it picked up a little over an hour ago. We're hearing reports of looting between the areas of 28th and 32nd Streets, an armed robbery at one hotel, 2 bomb threats at another hotel, a stabbing at yet another hotel. And it's just chaos out here tonight.
And Paula, we also talked with a few students who said that they were caught in the thick of it. They said that they were, again, just gathering around, talking with some friends. They were dancing, and all of a sudden, the police just moved in. Let's hear their comments of what happened.
All of a sudden, when I turned around, all the police are like in a big line, hundreds of police, and then they just start moving people out with the sticks, pushing, not asking nobody to leave. Not once did they use a bullhorn and just say spread out. They just moved on everybody, and girls started running. And when you see a lot of people run, everybody else does run, And if you were there and you had to run yourself to keep from getting stomped or trampled over.
They didn't say anything to anybody. They just started swinging their sticks. They hit one girl in the face. She fell to the ground. They walked right over top of her. They hit another girl in the ribs. She started crying. They pushed up against the glass. They cornered us in the alleyway where there's nothing but a fence there, and told us to leave. And where are we supposed to go? I don't know what's going on. I have never seen anything like this in my life.
Jan, the situation, as we've said, remains very tense out here. We're not sure how long the police presence is going to remain this thick and how long they're going to continue to make the sweeps. I think the one concern is that the looting that has already started does not spread again like it did last night down Atlantic Avenue. We will have...
It's